Welcome back to the deep dive, where we take the really dense stuff and try to make it useful fast.
And today we are really jumping into something.
We really are. We're looking at what might be the single most potent and just accessible tool for healing, for balance.
We're talking about mindful breathing.
Exactly. Forget the expensive gadgets or, these complicated routines. We're talking about your most basic function.
It's true. We're sort of taught that we can't control these involuntary things, but our breath, it's the big exception.
It's where the conscious mind beats the automatic body.
Yes. So our mission today is to crack open the source material, pull out the specific health benefits, and give you actionable techniques.
To show how shifting your breath from, automatic to intentional.
Creates this profound, calming ripple effect across your entire body.
And the beauty of it, the real core accessibility, is that it requires absolutely nothing. You don't need equipment. You don't need to go on a retreat. You can use your breath as this sort of instant internal remote control no matter where you are.
It's the ultimate zero-cost, incredibly high-yield practice.
Okay, so let's unpack this. We have to start with the foundational definition. What does the research say mindful breathing actually is?
Well, at its core, it's really just paying attention to the breath on purpose.
Good.
You're just noticing its rhythm, its depth, maybe the pace, and even the physical sensations it brings.
Like the air moving in, your abdomen rising, that kind of thing.
Exactly. The temperature change when you exhale. You are slowing everything down and consciously using the breath to guide your nervous system.
That idea of guiding the nervous system, that feels like the critical why, right? We all know it calms us down, but what is actually happening physiologically? How does this simple act turn off the internal alarm?
It's a direct connection to your internal operating system, specifically the vagus nerve. When you intentionally slow your breath down, and this is key, especially by making the exhale longer, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system.
Which is the rest and digest mode.
The rest and digest mode, yeah.
So if the vagus nerve is like this super highway connecting the brain to the heart and the gut, we're basically using our breath as the car to get onto the slow, relaxed lane.
That is a perfect analogy. And crucially, this action signals the body to shift out of that survival state.
The fight or flight response.
Exactly.
Oh.
And this is a huge deal because, honestly, a lot of us spend our days in a chronic state of low-grade fight or flight, and we don't even realize it.
And when we're stuck there, we're just flooding our system with stress hormones.
Precisely. So engaging the parasympathetic system, it drastically reduces your cortisol levels. That's your primary stress hormone.
And you can feel that, right? The physical tension easing, the mental chatter slowing down.
Yeah, immediately. The research is so consistent on this. It shows that even, say, 5 minutes of slow, deep breathing is enough to physically reset your internal chemistry and bring the mind into a clearer state.
That reset is so powerful. And while reducing stress is kind of the big umbrella benefit, the source material breaks it down into 7 really specific health benefits. Let's start with the physical.
Okay.
Let's look at heart health first.
Right. We found some really compelling data here. Controlled breathing, it naturally slows the heart rate. It relaxes the blood vessels.
And regular practice is actually linked to helping lower blood pressure.
Yes, both systolic and diastolic blood pressure.
What's fascinating to me, though, is that it goes beyond just pressure. The studies also show it increases heart rate variability, or HRV. For listeners who might not know that term, what is HRV, and why is a higher number a good thing?
Think of HRV as your body's measure of resilience. It's not about how fast your heart beats. It's about how quickly your heart rate can shift between beats to respond to change.
So like responding to physical activity or even emotional stress?
Any kind of stress. Low HRV suggests your body is kind of stuck in a rigid, stressed pattern.
Okay.
High HRV, which breathwork promotes, means your nervous system is flexible, it's resilient, and that reduces the overall strain on your cardiovascular system.
Resilience is definitely key. Okay, so moving from the heart to the brain, the second benefit's a big one. Enhancing mental clarity and focus. What's the mechanism there?
The mechanism is, well, it's beautifully simple. Mindful breathing ensures you're getting optimal oxygen flow to the brain.
Because when we're stressed or distracted, our breathing gets really shallow.
It gets shallow, and we're essentially starving the brain of its main fuel.
And that translates into real cognitive improvements. The sources talk about sharpening focus, boosting memory, even better problem solving and creativity.
Absolutely, which explains why everyone from, elite athletes to top executives uses these techniques.
Right. Now, the third benefit This is one that I think often surprises people. Boosting energy levels. How does slowing down and relaxing make you feel more energized instead of, sleepy?
It all comes down to efficiency and detoxification. When we're stressed, we do that shallow chest breathing. It means we aren't fully emptying our lungs.
So we're not getting enough oxygen in, and we're not getting all the waste out.
You got it. We get a buildup of carbon dioxide, which leads directly to that feeling of physical and mental fatigue.
So that sluggish feeling I get mid-afternoon might not just be a lack of coffee. It could be a lack of a proper exhale.
It absolutely could be. When you practice deep diaphragmatic breathing, belly breathing, you're flooding your cells with more oxygen and helping your body fully release that built-up CO2. It's a refreshing exchange that leaves you feeling lighter and more invigorated.
Okay, here's where it gets really transformative, I think. Moving from the physical engine to our emotional landscape. Benefit 4.
Yeah.
Improved emotional regulation.
This is the big one for daily life. This is where breath truly becomes a pause button.
A pause button. I like that.
Think about a moment of real frustration. You get some tough feedback at work, you're stuck in traffic.
The immediate response is just that rush of heat. Reactivity.
Right. But the sources suggest that focusing on your breath in those exact moments creates a space, just a microsecond of processing time before you respond.
And that's the magic.
That's the magic. That tiny pause lets the intense emotions settle just enough so you can choose a conscious response instead of just having an involuntary reaction. It leads to healthier communication, less irritability, more patience with others and, with yourself.
And that leads right into the 5th benefit, which is so critical for wellness, supporting better sleep.
Nighttime restlessness is almost always fueled by that same hyperactive nervous system. If your body thinks it's still running from a threat,
It's not going to let you sleep.
no. So slower, controlled breathing patterns prepare the body for deep rest. They explicitly quiet those racing thoughts and relax the tense muscles we hold all day.
And the research we saw really underscores that it not only helps you fall asleep faster, but it also reduces those, annoying nighttime awakenings.
Leading to a much more complete night of sleep. Then benefit number 6 frames this as an even deeper psychological tool, strengthening the mind-body connection.
I saw the breath described in the material as a bridge between the conscious mind and the physical self.
It is. When you slow down and really tune in, your breath becomes a diagnostic tool.
How so?
You start to become intimately aware of the subtle tension you're holding in your shoulders, or the emotions you're suppressing in your gut. The thoughts just overwhelming your mind. Most of us just walk around completely disconnected from those signals.
And with that awareness, any effort you made towards healing becomes so much more intentional because you actually know where the imbalance is.
Which brings us full circle back to the ultimate 7th benefit, the overall reduction of stress and anxiety. All those other 6 benefits, they all feed into this one core outcome.
An incredibly powerful list for something that costs nothing. I think the big question now is, how do we start? What are some simple techniques I can use right now?
We pulled 4 excellent source-cited techniques for different goals: calming, focus, sleep, and balance.
Let's start with one for immediate calming, something you could do at your desk when you feel anxiety creeping in.
That would be deep belly breathing, often with a 4-6 pattern. It's foundational. You can place one hand on your belly to make sure you're breathing deep, not just into your chest.
Okay.
Then you inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4, feeling your belly rise.
And the extended exhale is the key part, right?
Yes. You exhale slowly, completely for a count of 6. That 2-second difference is a direct signal to the vagus nerve that the threat is gone. You're safe. Repeat that for 5 to 10 rounds.
That extended exhale really does slow everything down. What about for mental grounding, say, right before a big presentation when you need to focus?
For that, we turn to box breathing. It's that classic 4-4-4-4 technique. It's amazing for grounding because it forces your absolute attention.
So you're tracing the 4 sides of a box with your breath.
Exactly. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold the breath for 4 seconds. Exhale slowly for 4 seconds. And then hold the breath out for 4 seconds. Then repeat.
Those holds, they add a surprising level of intensity. I imagine that just forces you out of any racing thoughts.
It's a total mental reset. The material suggests just 1 to 2 minutes of it is enough to get a clean slate of focus.
And for those of us whose minds start racing the second our head hits the pillow.
For that, we rely on the very well-known and clinically supported 4-7-8 breathing technique.
Okay, how does that one work?
It's designed specifically for sleep. You inhale quietly through your nose for 4 seconds, hold the breath for a full count of 7, And then exhale slowly and audibly through your mouth for a count of 8.
Wow, an 8-second exhale. That must completely override the nervous system.
It's a powerful relaxation commitment. You only need to repeat that sequence maybe 4 to 6 times to feel a significant drop in that internal energy, helping you drift off.
Okay, so what's our final technique for promoting a deeper sense of, like, internal balance?
The final one is alternate nostril breathing. It's cited for its unique ability to balance the left and right hemispheres of the brain.
It sounds a little complicated.
It sounds it, but it's not. You just use your thumb to close your right nostril and inhale through the left. Then you use your ring finger to close the left nostril, lift your thumb, and exhale through the right.
And then you immediately reverse that to complete one cycle.
Exactly. Inhale through the right, switch fingers, and exhale through the left. You continue that alternating pattern for about 1 to 3 minutes. It's highly effective for deep restoration.
So we have these 4 powerful tools. How often do we need to do these to see real results? Is this like an hour-a-day commitment?
Not at all. And the studies are really encouraging here. Even just 2 to 5 minutes a day makes a noticeable, measurable difference in things like HRV and cortisol.
Just 2 minutes.
But if you're aiming for that deeper, more transformative kind of self-care, the kind that really changes your baseline stress,
Yeah.
then aim for 10 to 15 minutes.
And you could place that in the morning or before bed or just for a reset during the day.
Anytime.
So what does this all mean for you listening? We've looked at the vagus nerve, the 7 specific benefits, 4 practical techniques. The synthesis is really this. Mindful breathing is an incredibly simple, accessible, yet profoundly powerful tool.
For emotional healing, mental clarity, physical wellness, all of it.
And with regular practice, it genuinely transforms from just a tool into a grounding, non-negotiable form of self-care.
And if we can leave you with one final thought, consider this. Your breath is always with you. It is the only free tool that can instantly shift you out of fight or flight.
So you have this instantly accessible way to restore inner balance.
Right. And we often think of breath work as something to do when we're already calm, sitting on a meditation cushion. But I'd encourage you to think about what happens when you use that pause button. The 4-7-8, the box breathing right in the middle of genuine chaos, right when you feel that stress or frustration rising. Explore the radical difference that just 1 minute of conscious intention can make when you need it most.